Continue across the United States, but they are really up in red states. If you live in Mississippi, you are 10 times more likely to be killed with a gun than if you live in Massachusetts. By accident, by homicide, by suicide, 10 times more likely in Mississippi than Massachusetts. The difference? Mississippi has the most lenient gun laws in the United States. Massachusetts has among the most restrictive. That doesn't mean that you can't go deer hunting in Massachusetts. It doesn't mean you can't buy a gun to protect your home. It doesn't mean you can't go target shooting. It just means that there are fewer guns in the hands of people who really don't need them and shouldn't have them. Now, down in Texas, we're seeing this play out in real time, in real life. About 13 months ago, Greg Abbott signed into law a bill making it legal for anyone over the age of 21 to open carry in the state with no license, no restrictions, no registration, nothing. Just buy a gun, slap it on your hip, walk into the bar, have a couple drinks, and if somebody pisses you off, gut shoot them, right? I mean, this is what is now happening. Texas has now seen mass shootings go up 62% in the years since Greg Abbott signed this bill, saying that any old yahoo who wants to buy a gun, if you can afford it or if they'll sell it to you on credit, you got your gun. And mass shootings have exploded in Texas. Regular shootings are up too. They're not up anywhere near as much, but they're up also year over year. But with regard to the mass shootings, in the 1 year period before the bill was signed, there were 187 people killed or injured in mass shootings in Texas. In the 1 year period after the bill was signed, it was 375 people killed or injured. That's a 100% increase. When Abbott signed the bill, Texas had 40, that's a 100% increase in people dead. In terms of the number of mass shootings themselves, there were 40 in the year before. And in that same time period, now a year later, that has gone up to 65, which is a 62.5% increase. Texas Republicans, clearly led by their cowardly governor, are more interested in groveling before the gun manufacturers and the billionaires who own that industry than they are in protecting the citizens, particularly the children of Texas. The number one leading cause of death of children in Texas is guns. ABC 13th, a Texas television station, recently stated that since the bill had been passed, shooting deaths in the state were up 5%, with injuries up 3%. Everytown Research and Policy, the group that came out of the Newtown mass shooting, school shooting, noted, quote, states that have weakened or eliminated law enforcement authority to deny permits to people who pose a danger have experienced an 11% increase in handgun homicide rates and a 13 to 15% increase in violent crime rates. Well, what do you expect? We have a country now where there's more guns than people. We're the only country in the world that's true of. There are, over 100 guns for every 100 people. There's over 120 guns, in fact, for every 100 people in America. The next closest is Yemen, where there's 50 guns for every 100 people. And the next closest below that is in the 30s. The average for the European Union is around 10 or 11 guns per 100 people. In Canada, it's around 20, it's between 25 and 30, as I recall. But here, it's over 120 guns for every 100 people. So it shouldn't surprise us that we're seeing just slaughter, carnage, every single day all across this country. Men, women, children, everybody. We need to do something about this. And frankly, any Democrat who's not running on gun control is missing out, in my opinion. People are pissed. We're over this. We're tired of it. Slovenia, or was it Slovakia? One of those two countries just had a mass shooting. Hundreds of thousands of people showed up in the streets, or tens of thousands of people showed up in the streets, and they passed gun control laws, and they did a huge gun buyback, and they bought back a whole pile of guns, just like Australia did in 1996, just like Great Britain did in 1993, I think it was. And, Great Britain has only had one mass shooting since then. Australia has only had one. They were both having them regularly. Get the guns off the streets. It's real simple. Meanwhile, Chris Christie was